Hi everyone, how you doing? So I have some happy mail that I got. It's from an Etsy shop called Boutique Jane. So it's Boutique Jane. So on everything it's just Boutique Jane. On she's got a Spotify. On Etsy, which is where I got this from. Facebook, it's Boutique Jane 85, all one word. Instagram, it's at Boutique Jane 9, the number 9. So yeah, awesome. So my envelopes, how many did I get? One, I can't even remember. We'll see how we go. So I got some different ones, some different categories, some similar, some different. But I got this design here, and just just basic black. So I've got one for medical, and I like how it's got like the border and the words in the border there. So medical. This one is one for Matthew. Yes, I'm doing another one. We're still going to use our other ones for something else. So Matthew. This one I did just instead of having the whole emergency, because it would have taken up the whole bottom, I just did SOS. And same with this one, I just did Rego instead of the full registration. I do like them. Next one, I think there's 10 of them. This one is, this one's for markets. I have a market coming up in May, the first weekend of May, on the Sunday morning in Devonish in country Victoria. It's where I was for my Christmas one. And then there's this one that's just for car. And then we have my one. And then this one says family. So that'll be for if, like, because Matthew and I together, we may be a couple, but we're a family. But it's also for if I'll put money towards, like, if we want to go visit family, or we're going out somewhere with some family or whatever. So that's that one. And then I have this one. I got one for medication. So medical and medication, different ones. This is the medication, like for our medication, of course. The medical one is for anything else medical. So even though I've got one where I'm going to an eye specialist, I have the glasses tracker and that. I want that to be just for the glasses. So if I've got to pay for anything else, like I'm going to see the specialist in a couple of weeks, I don't want to take that money, even though this time I'm going to have to take the money out of it, but I'll put it back because I think with my Medicare I'll get about 85% of it back. So I'll put that back in, but then what I get paid from work that week, also I'll make up the difference and put it back in for that. But then I'll start putting things in for medical, for that sort of thing. So yeah. And then, like, last year I had to have like the cortisone injection in my shoulder. So that's the sort of thing it's going to be for. And then this one is because I have a challenge that I made up for myself, but also if I don't have the money in this envelope, then I'm not allowed to buy the category. This is books. So if I don't have the money in there, I'm not allowed to buy any books. So that is what I'm telling myself. And I have a book challenge. So for every book I read, I will put in 2 cents per page. So if it's a 200 page book, then I'll put in, so what's that, 2 cents? 400 cents, which is what, $4? So that's how I'm working about. Instead of setting a certain price for per book, I'm just doing it that way. It's just a different way of me doing it. So they are my envelopes. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 10 there. And they were a really good price. I think they were only like $20 something for the 10. So that was all right, and I really like them. I've on my Etsy I've saved her her page, her store, because I saw some other things on there that I thought, oh, in the future I might get some more. And I may end up replacing all my other old ones with just these ones. That way it'll look better. But for now, I've got these. And yeah, I'm really happy. I like them. I just like the basic, the black look of them. So yeah. So you see what I mean with the length of some words? That usually it'd take off most of the thing. I didn't just want to put meds. I wanted the full medication, but yeah, it takes up more of the whole thing. So that's why I did it that way. So I really like them. Do them on black. I might do ones like maybe different colours for the different binders, because I'm going to get some also done for holiday. Oh, a big, hang on. Excuse me. I need a drink. At the moment, Matthew and I have made a big decision about our next holiday after our trip to Tassie this year. Our next holiday, so we're hoping to save a lot. We've got to save a lot. We are planning, on my mouth, yeah, a big trip. It's going to be about 5 weeks. It's going to be overseas. And yeah, it's we're still going on a cruise, but not for the whole of it. It's not a 5-week cruise. It's actually over 3 weeks for the cruise. So it's like, I don't know, it's confusing because on the site for the cruise it says it's a 22-day cruise. But then when they're gone to show some other things, it's actually saying that it's 24 days. So we're not sure. We haven't booked it. No, we're far from doing that. It's what we've decided at the moment. It could change, but at the moment, so we will go to, so from Melbourne, we figured out it is cheaper. We'll see if we're able to do it. Drive to Sydney. See if we're able to leave. We'll leave, hopefully be able to, for the whole 5 weeks or so. Leave the car at Matthew's brother's. Get the train to the airport, because the train from where they live, the train that they take to get to Sydney, it stops at the airport. Then we fly from Sydney to NYC, New York City. And then there's some things we want to do, like Matthew likes doing the touristy things, so of course, and I do too, but of course we'll be going to the Statue of Liberty and all that. Matthew also wants to go to the 9/11 memorial too, because that's the sort of thing we do. If we go somewhere where it's something like that, like a memorial place or something, we like to pay our respects. So we'll do that. Depends how much time we'll have. going to New York. Wouldn't, I mean, I'd love to go to Broadway, go to a Broadway show, but that's not something Matthew would do. We want to go to Philadelphia, because you got to. Is the thing is, I want to go to Philadelphia because we want to go. I've seen it on so many different food shows. There are these two places in Philadelphia. I've got to remember where they are, but one's on one corner, one's on the opposite diagonal corner, and they both claim to be the best have the best Philly cheesesteaks in the world. So I'd love to go and try both of them and make up my mind which one I think's the better one. So yeah, I want to do that. And of course, Matthew, he loves the Rocky films. We've got to go to the Rocky stairs, and he'll have to do the run up there. No way in hell I will be. It'll take me forever to walk up there, as it is. So he wants to do that. Then there's a lot of other places I'd like to go, but because we only have this short amount of time, we won't have a very long time, we want to go to the main ones. So I also want to go to New Jersey. I want to go to the original Carlo's Bakery. But that will depend, because if we get there and that line is huge, which I know that a lot of the time it is huge, then no, I'm not waiting. And I know Matthew won't. But yeah, there's a lot of other places I'd really love to go to. If we had the time, I'd go to Rochester, New York, because I've got family there. But I'd also want to go to East Syracuse. I want to go to Hercules Candy, because of our laws, our import laws and everything, and that with the food and that, they can't ship to Australia. And so yeah, which is a bummer, because I love that they make all of this stuff, so much of this stuff still by hand. So yeah, I want to do that. Of course, I don't mention it a lot, but it's just something in the background. I do love baseball. I love watching baseball. I am a Red Sox fan, so I want to go to Fenway Park. I'd love to see a baseball match there. And the time of the year we are going is baseball season. Would be baseball season, so there's that. We'll go to DC. I've for many years wanted to go to the Smithsonian. I love museums and that. Also, I love all kinds of history and that, and I want to go to the Lincoln Memorial. They're really the only two things in DC that, if we find out, if we go past the White House, got to go to the White House. And then from there, the Grand Canyon, yeah, Mount Rushmore, they're not ones that are first on our list. I'd love to see them, but they're not first on our list. So, because we will only have about 2 weeks, yeah, so that's going to be one thing there. Probably skip those. Then we'd go from Washington to LA. Yeah, we're not really gamblers or anything. We don't want to go to Vegas. And no, we're not going to elope and get married. Even though I have said the majority of my life I'm going to elope. But no, we'll go to LA. It depends if it was the season. I don't know, I haven't checked. But an ice hockey game, but it'd have to be an Anaheim game. Yes, I am one of those who love the Mighty Ducks movies, so of course I'm going to support the Ducks, the Anaheim Ducks. There's a few places we want to go to. Of course, we want to go see, like, you know, Hollywood, the big sign, everything, the Walk of Fame, at whatever, what is it? I can never forget it. Something, the Chinese theatre, you know what I mean. Do that. I have some YouTube friends that are in California. They're not that far from Hollywood, I don't think. So hopefully I'll get to meet them in person. What else are we gonna do? Of course, Disney. But we won't need to spend days there because we're not really into the rides. So ours is more, I want to do the whole meet the characters thing. That's the thing I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. We're not big ride people. Matthew wants to try the food. I said, I want to get a Dole Whip. Then what else? I wouldn't mind if you got time, go to Universal Studios as well. Like with the whole Disney thing, did that in Downtown Disney, all that. And be there for like the night for the fireworks. What else? As I said, Universal Studios. I'm trying to remember what else. Ooh, I don't think I wrote it all down, did I? No, I just wrote Disneyland, Universal Studios in Hollywood. So we've got, and then, oh yeah, when we're in New York, we want to go to Central Park and Times Square as well. So that's all I've got written at the moment on there. And then once we're finished that main part, we'll be going to Washington State. We'll be going to Seattle, where we will catch a cruise ship that will go from Seattle back to Sydney. But that also includes a trip to Honolulu, to Hawaii. And Matthew was actually really shocked because he thought Hawaii was just like with us here with Tasmania, but it's further out than what Tasmania is. I think that's why it probably took so long for it to become a state. Is that why? They weren't recognised as a state part of the United States. Yeah. So yeah, and then there we'll be traveling around, going to all the way back home. There's a couple of places that there's a lot of days at sea, and that's fine. I like being on the ship. I like just relaxing. I don't have to do everything, but the majority of the days are at sea. But when we are in port, we're in port for a long time. Like there's ones where we get to the port at 8 in the morning, but the ship won't leave until 11 p.m. So yeah, but there's a couple of places that it'll go to where we won't be getting off. Matthew's more excited about going to Honolulu and going to the Dole pineapple what do you call it? Pineapple farm, where they grow the pineapple. But I've always wanted to go to Hawaii because my favourite Elvis movie is Blue Hawaii. I love that movie. And of course you got the scenes there where they're at the pineapple place. So, yeah. So, and there are a few other places that the ship will dock. Like one of them is Suva. Well, we've been there. We didn't like Suva, so we're just going to stay on the ship when it docks at Suva, which is in Fiji. I mean, there's another stop we go to. One of the stops is Tahiti. Another one is what is it? The French island, French Polynesia. That is one of them. But we just watched a thing on YouTube that about a guy being murdered and eaten by a cannibal, and Matthew's like, "Okay, we're staying on the ship." Yeah, there's a few other stops as well. I should have written them all down, but I didn't. But that's the plans. Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully so for at least the next 18 months, maybe even less than that, we have to be very strict now and save as much money as we can. So what I'm going to do is the majority of the money I get from when I work will go towards that holiday. Yeah, so hopefully I can get some shifts. I have a feeling I'm going to have to up my shifts because of this stuff with everything. I'm not going to be able to get what I want with dealing with this disability support payments and that. I'm probably not going to be able to do that. Yeah. So I may have to be working 15 hours a week. So, yeah. But at the moment, some weeks I'm not getting any, and other weeks it's just 4 hours a week. So, yeah. But there's only certain jobs I can do. Anyway. Alright. This has gone longer than I thought it was. It was supposed to just be a happy mail video. But anyway, there you go. Now you know what we're hoping to do for our next holiday after this one. Alright everyone. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe somewhere down below, press the bell notification, comment, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time. Bye.